Happy New Year, everybody! That means we get to watch nothing but new cartoons all day long. What? Don't tell me that you don't do that from time to time. Hey everybody, this is Rabbit's Blog from Animation Bliss, and welcome to another animated top series. So today's top 10 list I'll be doing today to start off the new year is my top 10 most anticipated animated films of 2022. And before I get into this, here are a few words from the channel. Alright, Animaniacs, now let's get on the social media train. Want to chat with us in 100 words or less? Then check out our Twitter account. Want to chat with us within a group? Then check out our Facebook account. Want to get the lowdown on everything dealing with animation on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So every year, I always love to start off the new year with my top 10 most anticipated films of the year. And this year, I decided to do my top 10 most anticipated animated films of 2022. And man, are there a lot of interesting films coming out in 2022. But before we get started with this list, here are a few disclaimers. Number 1. This list is based off of my personal opinions, so there might be some upcoming animated movies that didn't make this list that you think should have made this list. So if there are any other animated films that I missed on this list that you wanted to mention, please let me know in the comments down below. And 2, there's a possibility that some of these animated films might get delayed down the line. So if that's the case, there might be a chance that I might include some of the animated films on this list onto another list in the near future. So be on the lookout for that if that were to happen. But now let's get started. So Liar Liar Crocodile stars Constance Wu and Scoot McNairy, and the plot synopsis states, the venerable children's tale revolves around the title reptile who lives in a house on East 88th Street in New York City. So the reason why this movie is on my list is because I grew up reading the Liar Liar Crocodile books, and even though I haven't read all the books in the series, I've always enjoyed reading this book because it was such a sweet little story about a crocodile living with this human family in New York City, and I always loved the premise of the story. And the fact that they're finally making a movie about this book series is really exciting to me because I've always wanted to see them make a movie about Liar Liar Crocodile. And the closest thing we had to Lyle coming to the big screen was through a little TV special on HBO Storybook Musicals, and that was the only time I saw Lyle Crocodile actually be animated. But the fact that we're finally getting a fully animated movie about Lyle Crocodile has me really excited, and I can't wait to see where they're going to take this film. So The Legend of O.G. stars Emily Watson and Willem Dafoe and is directed by Isaiah Saxon. And the plot synopsis states, a young girl runs away from home and learns to communicate with an elusive animal species known as Ochi. So the fact that this movie is about a young girl who runs away from home to communicate with other animals has me really interested. I always love watching animated movies that deal with fantasy characters and having the human characters communicate with said fantasy characters. And I like to see what kind of creatures the Ochi are and if they are dangerous creatures or if they're friendly creatures. And I like to see what the little girl's story arc would be throughout this movie. So I really like the premise of this movie and it sounds very interesting to watch. So The Bad Guys stars Sam Rockwell and Anthony Ramos and is directed by Pierre Perifel. And the plot synopsis states, when the infamous bad guys are finally caught after years of countless heists and being the world's most wanted villains, Mr. Wolf brokers a deal that he has no intention of keeping to save all from prison. The bad guys will go good. So this seems to have a Little Red Riding Hood vibe to it, because I saw the trailer to this movie and it seems like that Mr. Wolf is going to become the good guy because an elderly lady calls him a good boy, and I hope that they do explore that plot line in this movie about how the bad guys themselves return to good guys and how they want to help the people afterwards. And I do like the twist to this tale about how the bad guys are just criminals who are like stealing stuff, as I think that's a really interesting premise to this type of twist to the Red Riding Hood tale. So I'm really interested in seeing the bad guys and see what kind of film this is going to turn out to be. DC League of Super Pets stars Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, and the plot synopsis states: when Superman and the rest of the Justice League are kidnapped, Crypto the Super Dog must convince a ragtag shelter pack, Ace the Hound, PB the Potbelly Pig, Merton the Turtle, and Chip the Squirrel to master their own newfound powers and help him rescue the superheroes. So you guys may have noticed that I'm a huge fan of DC Comics, and I really like DC characters like Superman and Batman, and I actually did watch Crypto the Super Dog when it first came out on Cartoon Network, so I do have a bit of knowledge about Crypto the Super Dog and Ace the Bat Hound as well. So when I heard that they're finally making a fully animated movie about the DC pets, I was really excited about this because I wanted to see Crypto the Super Dog make an appearance in the big screen, and I think this is a really good way to get Crypto the Super Dog into the big screen as an animated character, and I can't wait to see the other super pets like Ace the Bat Hound and many others. So I'm really excited for this movie just because I'm a huge DC fan and because I wanted to see Crypto the Super Dog on the big screen for a while. So the Mario movie stars Chris Pratt and Anya Taylor-Joy, and the plot synopsis states: a plumber named Mario travels through an underground labyrinth with his brother Luigi trying to save a captured princess. Feature film adaptation of the popular video game. Now, I know that there's some controversy around this movie because of the voice cast being picked for this movie, but honestly, I'm really excited for this movie. Like, it's been years since we last seen Mario in the movie industry. Like, the last time Mario had a movie was the live action movie in the 1990s, and that wasn't well received at all. And it probably convinced Nintendo not to do any more movies of their franchises anymore. I guess with the success of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, I guess Nintendo changed their minds. But then again, this movie's been in the making for years, so there's that. But I'm really excited to see Mario back into the big screen again. And I like to see what they're going to do with Mario's character in this new movie. Are they going to expand more on his character? Are they going to have new adventures for Mario to get through? Whatever the case may be, I'm really excited for this movie and I can't wait to watch it. Window and Wild stars Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key and is directed by Henry Selick. And the plot synopsis states: two demon brothers face off against a nun and a pair of goth teens in order to earn their way out of hell. Now, the reason why this movie's high on my list is because I'm a huge fan of Henry Selick's works, and I always enjoy the movies that he's directed, like The Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, and Coraline, to name a few. And it's great to see Henry Selick come back and direct a movie again. Like, it's been a while since he actually directed a movie. I think the last movie he directed was Coraline many years ago, and I really enjoyed that movie. So it's great to see Henry Selick come back to direct a movie again, and I wanted to see more of Henry Selick's creepy and weird stop motion animation that he's very well known for, and this movie looks like it's going to be that way, so I'm really excited for this movie. Pinocchio stars Ron Perlman and Cate Blanchett and is directed by Guillermo del Toro. And the plot synopsis states: set during the rise of fascism and Mussolini's Italy, Pinocchio is a story of love and disobedience as Pinocchio struggles to live up to his father's expectations. So this sounds like an interesting twist to the Pinocchio fairy tale, and I always love watching movies that take beloved fairy tales and put a darker spin on them, and this movie seems like it's going to be a much darker, edgier take on the Pinocchio story, as we actually have Pinocchio in the story trying to make his father proud. So that's a very interesting addition to this particular tale, and I just like the dark fantasy vibes I'm getting for this movie. Like, even though I never watched any of Guillermo del Toro's films, I'm still excited for this movie just because it's a darker, edgier take on Pinocchio, and I always loved the Pinocchio fairy tale, so I'm really excited for this movie. Turning Red stars Sandra Oh and Jordan Fisher and is directed by Domi Shi, and the plot synopsis states: 13-year-old May is experiencing the awkwardness of being a teenager with a twist. When she gets too excited, she transforms into a giant red panda. So after I saw the trailer for this movie, I was beyond excited for this movie. Not only is it going to be another Disney Pixar film, but it's also going to be about a young girl who turns into a big red panda. And I always love these type of transformation stories that has a cute edge to it and also a funny edge to it. And judging by the trailer, I feel like this movie is going to be cute and funny at the same time, and I can't wait to see how they're going to portray these characters and what's the story behind May being transformed into this big giant red panda. Lightyear stars Chris Evans and is directed by Angus MacLane, and the plot synopsis states, the definite origin story of Buzz Lightyear, the hero who inspired the toy, introducing the legendary space ranger who would win generations of fans. So according to the summary of this film, it appears that this movie is going to be based off the real Buzz Lightyear who inspired the story and explains about his backstory, and I'm really excited for this. I've been a huge fan of the Toy Story franchise for many years, and the fact that we're actually getting a solo Buzz Lightyear movie is really exciting to me, as well as learning more about Buzz Lightyear's backstory, how he came to be. So I'm really excited to see what Buzz Lightyear's backstory is going to be in this movie and how this is going to connect to the Toy Story franchise as a whole. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 stars Sean McMorris and Haley Steinfeld, and the plot synopsis states, Miles Morales returns for the next chapter of the Spider-Verse saga, an epic adventure that would transport Brooklyn's full-time, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man across the multiverse to join forces with Gwen Stacy and a new team of Spider people to face off with a villain more powerful than anything they have ever encountered. So I have a confession to make. I actually never seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, even though I really wanted to watch that movie because I've been hearing nothing but good things about that movie. But the reason why this movie is number one on my list is because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. So of course, anytime Spider-Man gets mentioned in anything, I automatically put that movie in my number one pick sometimes. And in the case of this movie, this is probably my most anticipated movie for 2022 because it's all about Spider-Man and I want to see more Spider-Man in animated form. So I'm really excited for this movie. Well, that's my top 10 most anticipated animated films of 2022. And tell me in the comments down below, what are some animated movies in 2022 are you looking forward to? And what are some animated movies that are coming out in 2022 that I didn't mention on this list that you want to mention? Please feel free to tell me in the comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbi's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later.